The Hexham Heads, cursed relics or ancient mystery. In 1971, in the small town of Hexham, England, two young brothers were digging in their backyard when they uncovered something strange. Two small, grotesque stone heads, each about the size of a fist, carved with haunting, eerie faces. At first, they thought nothing of it, just a couple of old stones. But then, the nightmares began. The boys' family reported objects moving on their own, doors slamming shut violently, and, most disturbingly, a massive wolf-like creature lurking inside their house. Was it a coincidence? A mass hallucination? Or had they unearthed something that should have stayed buried? This is the story of the Hexham Heads, a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. The discovery: Colin and Leslie Robson, two brothers living in Hexham, were simply playing in their backyard when they dug up the two carved stone heads. The figures had bulging eyes, strange grinning mouths, and an unsettling, almost mischievous expression. They brought them inside, set them on a shelf, and that's when things got weird. Their mother, Mrs. Robson, was the first to notice it. The heads would move on their own. She swore that she left them in one place, only to find them somewhere else entirely the next morning. Then came the noises at night, scratching sounds, disembodied footsteps, and the sensation of something unseen moving through the house. But the real terror was yet to come. The beast in the house. One night, Mrs. Robson awoke to a horrifying sight. A large, shadowy figure stood in the doorway of her bedroom. It had the shape of a wolf, but it walked like a man, towering, broad-shouldered, with glowing eyes. She screamed, and the beast vanished. Terrified, the family immediately got rid of the heads. But wherever they went, strange events followed. The curse spreads. The Hexham Heads were passed from researcher to researcher, each trying to determine their origin. But something followed them. Dr. Anne Ross, a Celtic historian who took the heads for study, soon regretted it. Just days after bringing them home, she too reported seeing the same massive, wolf-like creature in her house. She described it as a half-man, half-wolf entity that strode past her bedroom door and disappeared. Frightened, she returned the heads immediately. But the hauntings didn't stop. Who, or what, was attached to these heads? Theories and origins. There are two leading theories about the Hexham Heads. Theory 1. They were ancient Celtic artifacts. Some believe the heads date back thousands of years and were part of Celtic ritual magic. The Celts were known to carve stone heads as spiritual symbols, sometimes believed to contain spirits or protective forces. But if the heads were meant to protect something, what exactly were they protecting against? Theory 2. The heads were cursed. Others believe the heads were never ancient at all, but something far more sinister, a modern artifact, deliberately imbued with dark energy. One researcher claimed that the heads were carved in recent times, possibly as a folk magic experiment gone wrong. Were they vessels for something supernatural? Had the boys dug up a curse meant to stay hidden? Even now, no one knows where the heads truly came from, and just as mysteriously as they arrived, they vanished. Today, the Hexham Heads are missing, lost to time, leaving behind only a trail of eerie encounters and unanswered questions. A final warning. Every person who studied the heads reported strange happenings, from nightmares to sightings of the phantom wolf beast. So here's the question. Were the Hexham Heads an innocent discovery? Or were they something else? Something that should never have been found? And if they ever resurface, will the hauntings return with them?